Monday, August 8th, 2011, 12:22 a.m. I had to take notes on this. There's so much going on, and it's important. This is an important video. Very important. U.S. was downgraded Friday. As almost everybody knows, it's in touch with the news. And a lot of Americans are more concerned about NFL or something else, but this is the big news in my estimation. So Friday night, the U.S. debt, sovereign debt, was downgraded to AA plus from AAA. And I was reading in the New York Times article. I learned a few years ago that the New York Times is the official history of the United States. And the New York Times talked about how S&P's been thinking about downgrading the U.S. for months, and actually warning the White House and Congress. And it seems like Tim Geithner and the White House people were arguing that they shouldn't be downgraded. And they were informed Friday during the day that they were going to be downgraded, and they made an argument. And I just, I think it's ridiculous how the Congress says they're going to reduce 2.4 trillion over 10 years. It just stinks. It smells. It's horrible. They need to reduce 1.2 trillion right now. Balance the budget now. We don't need a balanced budget amendment. That's just the way it's supposed to be. But these bozos in Washington, it's unbelievable. They've sold us down the river. And it's over. I mean, would you shut up about the 10 years? Let's deal with the issue now. Dollar will be completely, absolutely worthless in 10 years. Thanks to these politicians that sell out all the time. We didn't have enough Ron Pauls. It's over now, though. It's over. Anyway, China. I'm going to begin and end some of these quotes from China. China, Washington needs to cure its addiction to debt and live within its means. Sorry, China, that's wishful thinking. The United States is beyond things. I know you guys hold the largest debt holders, but good luck with that stuff. You're going to get crushed with anybody that bought bonds, yielding 3.5%, 2.5% for 10 years, 3.5% for 30 years. Dump them as soon as you can. Oh my gosh, because they'll be worth one half the price in 12 months. Mark my words on that one. Look at the equity losses worldwide. 5.4 trillion since July 26th. 5.4 trillion gone in the stock market. And then Barron's. I pick up Barron's, and Barron's like, attention shoppers, it's time to buy. Well, anyway, futures down, 260 points, almost we're down 300. Gold's at 1715. Israel's one of the first markets to open on Sunday, and it was down 7%. So it'll be interesting to watch this. But even if things rebound, late Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, it's still over. This Keynesian thing, like, we got to spend more money when we're having problems. Well, during the boom years, we put on the debt, and Keynes is dead, wiped out. We should have followed the invisible hand of Adam Smith, but we didn't. We abandoned true free market economics, and here's the consequences. So some of my notes: we've passed the tipping point. The U.S. is bankrupt. I could never stand Keynesian economics, but it was taught for years and years, and then people believed it, and Timmy and all these guys now believe that stuff, and it's over. Time for Tim to get a tent, learn how to hunt and fish, and store some food. Yep. If they keep them on, which they say they are for now. And this, people say, we're going to go into recession now. Are you kidding me? We're in a depression. It's just becoming evident to more people. But I guess people have to be actual in breadlines before they realize it's what's happening here in the United States. I know a lot of people are, and then the food stamps. I remember transfer payments, studying this stuff back at Harvard in business school, and just, back then, people were freaking out about running $200 billion a year deficits. Those Reagan deficits. But Reagan didn't raise taxes, and now these guys want to tax the rich more, which of course won't close the gap and will just tank the economy even more. But it's disgusting. The Constitution's been abandoned, And we have the result. Oh, man. Anyway, Geithner. I can't believe those guys like trying to argue. This S&P downgrade should have happened months ago and will continue to be downgraded. They're always talking about the next downgrade. And so it'll just continue to happen, and the United States deficit will get even worse. And then when the fake buyers stop coming in, the Federal Reserve stop, and of course Europe. I was reading, the G7 is going to liquefy the markets there in Europe, because I remember they did that back in 1987. We had quite a discussion on that, and my finance teacher, David Mearshram, I'll never forget it, said, "What happened the day after?" And I was like the only guy raised my hand, and I said, "The Fed liquefied the system." And I remember talking to some of my friends, like nobody knew that the Federal Reserve was private bank then for profit. Now a lot more people do. But, yep, Jekyll Island is finally wiped us out here. Let's see what else I have. Oh, gold hitting 17.15. So just since my last video a couple hours ago, up another $15. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll never recover. Anyway, maybe the way to end this video, which just kind of makes me sick, because supposedly sophisticated financial people, these guys in Washington, they don't understand anything, and Obama has no clue what's going on. Tim kind of, that's why I feel sorry for him in a way, but it's not fixable, but at least he shouldn't lie about it. And these guys in Washington, just tell the truth. You've wiped us out. It's over. Anybody that voted for the politicians, whether they voted for Obama or Harry Reid, I can't even believe these guys. I can't even believe it. But it's true, and they probably still don't know. I'm sure they probably don't even know how bad it is. But I think real estate prices will finally stop going up in the Washington, D.C. area. And they will start, well, they're going to go down everywhere. But watch tomorrow, watch the next week, and for those of you that aren't woken up, maybe just read the financial news for a few days. Actually, there's some truth coming out, and we're having the consequences of the truth. So, China, the official news agency, had an editorial Saturday, international supervision over the issue of U.S. dollars, and the introduction of a new stable and secured global reserve currency. So the dollar, China's talking about getting rid of the dollar as a reserve currency, and that's going to happen, and supervising us Americans, because our elected officials could not frickin' run this country. They couldn't come up with a budget. They've sold us down the river, and now we're going to have to deal with international control of the United States of America. No bueno, pero seguramente ya viene. It's going to happen for sure. And Beijing also noted to demand the United States to address its structural debt problems and ensure the safety of China's dollar assets that Beijing has every right to. They bought a bunch of debt? That's true, they do have a right. Constitution is out the window. Thanks, you guys in Washington. Thanks for selling us down the river. Thanks for ruining the fantastic, once great republic of the United States of America. Thanks a lot. Karma will happen. I would hate to be one of those guys that's voted to destroy this country that God set up. But you guys that have voted for all this spending, this pork barrel spending, you'll be held accountable in the next life. That is for sure. No matter what happens now. Disgusting. Horrible. But here we are. Here we are in the last days of the Republic. Wow.